Alright YouTube, what's going on? Coming back at you with a knife video. Been a while. And this is the new Fox Knives Tur folder, designed by Jesper Voxnaes, and I'm not ever sure I pronounced that right, so I apologize. And this is one of his most recent designs, made by Fox in Managgio, Italy. Very cool folder I've been looking forward to for a while now. So let's go ahead and kind of get into first impressions. I just received this knife yesterday, and actually no, 2 days ago. Just got back from vacation, so I've been carrying it around kind of as an EDC for the last 2 days, just to kind of get a feel for the knife. But my overall first impressions are pretty solid. Fox is one of those companies that, you know, I've only had a few of their knives. The last one I had was the what do you call it? The Karambit, which was a solid knife. But this one is one of their more, you know, like EDC gentleman style folder kind of blades, and just kind of more of an EDC knife, which I've really never had from Fox knives. So kind of my first experience with them. I've had a lot of knives made in Italy, however. So let's go ahead and just go over the basic specs real quick, and then we'll kind of go into the first impressions. So your overall length is 7 inches on this. The blade length is 2.95, so it's right under 3 inches, and that is because they want to be able to, you know, you'd be able to carry this knife anywhere that has, you know, a lot of countries, a lot of states have a under 3-inch blade length, so they do it right under 3 inches on purpose. Similar how the Chris Reeve Sabenza, small Sabenza is. Your sharpen length is only 2.75, so your cutting edge is 2.75 inches. Blade thickness is 0.14, and you've got Elmax steel on this one, which is a solid steel. You have they run at about 59 to 61 hardness. You have an liner lock for your lock here. Your close length is just a hair over 4 inches, and your handle thickness is exactly 0.5, so it's about a ½ inch thick. Handle material is carbon fiber. Both scales are carbon fiber. There's only the liner on the locking side. The shell side does not have a liner. It's just a solid piece of carbon fiber, which really helps it be lightweight. You do have a titanium pocket clip, and you have a weight of only 3.25 ounces. So very lightweight. Pocket clip is actually pretty nice, and it's one of the, I like the design here because it's recessed into the handle. The screws are actually attached from the inside of the liner in there. It is only tip up right hand carry, so there is no lefty option here. And your backspacer here, it has a nice lanyard attachment as well, and that is a titanium backspacer that is anodized bronze, so it's very attractive. So those are kind of your basic specs. Now, I was drawn to this knife because, again, I like Voxnaes designs quite a bit. I like the giant mouse knives he's done, the different models he's done with CRKT, you know, a lot of his customs. So this knife, it comes in to market around $200. I think I paid just a hair over $200 from Knife Centers, where I purchased this from. Just barely received it, like I said, a couple days ago. So it'll be around the $200 price point. Considering the materials used, I think that's a really good deal, actually. You get solid carbon fiber, and it is very nice weave in the carbon fiber, very much a real carbon fiber, no G10 laminate spider coat here. Very solid, very nice looking carbon fiber. One thing that's kind of different about the knife is you'll see there, right below the thumb stud, the liner lock is basically, they cut out a recess there to be able to more easily activate the liner lock, but aesthetically it doesn't look very good, in my opinion, when the knife is closed. Now, it's just an aesthetic thing. It doesn't affect form or function or anything there, but it is kind of strange. Now, you notice that the thumb stud does have a torque screw here, but it's ambidextrous. I mean, it has thumb studs on both sides, dual thumb studs, so I don't know why you'd need to switch it. It's kind of interesting. Maybe to remove the thumb stud altogether. That could be one way. So you could actually just have to pinch the knife open like so. Ergonomics are actually really good on this knife. Very comfortable in the hand. The handle is quite a bit longer than the blade. The blade to handle ratio is not the best, but again, they did that to keep that under that 3-inch. It's got a nice snappy action. You can see there it's just thumb stud deployed. You can get it to middle. Yeah, it's got a pretty stiff detent for the middle finger, but you can do it if you've got a strong middle finger by, and you strengthen that by giving people the bird. I'm just joking. But you can definitely middle finger flick it if you have a, not a big deal, not hard at all. And then you obviously can smoothly open the knife with the thumb stud, or again, just a really quick, snappy deployment. So it does not a flipper. Another thing I liked about it, I do like flippers, but I like to diversify a little bit and have some non-flippers. Actually, I have probably more non-flippers than I do flippers these days. So, but again, the ergonomics, what I was talking about, are really solid. Now, this actually does not get in the way in ergonomics. It does not create a hot spot. So you can grip the knife like this. I have medium-sized hands, and you can see the handle is pretty much perfect for my hand. It has this little lip right here. We'll call it a choil for your hand, and it kind of curves around and kind of keeps that, locks that in, does that in the front. So you have a really nice secure hold. The reverse grip is also very nice. No problems at all there. You can rest your thumb there on the thumb stud. Pocket clip does not create any hot spots. So overall, the ergonomics are fantastic. The pocket clip, we'll talk about that, is a little long, I decided. It's like covers almost half the knife. Could have probably made it to here and been fine, but it works really well. It's titanium, but it has a good amount of spring, so it's not hard to get on and off your pants. And it's not obviously a deep carry. You're gonna have that much of your knife showing, but it makes it a little easier to grab as well. You can run a lanyard like here, like we mentioned here on the back spacer. The anodizing on the bronze is really nice, and on the titanium pocket clip, really cool anodizing. So not giving a nice bronze, kind of an accent to the knife. Wouldn't mind actually seeing that on the pivot, but these are stainless steel. You can heat treat them, I guess, but stainless steel hardware, it looks like they're T6 and T8, pretty much standard. I'd have to double check on those, but it is a double-sided pivot, so you may have to have two to adjust. I haven't had to. The centering's been fine. The action's been fine. It's not the smoothest knife in the world. It's not gonna. I think it's because of this beefy liner. It's got a pretty good-sized liner lock. So it's not, going to drop free. It's not like my Spyderco Schliess Bowie or my Sebenza 21, small Sebenza 21. It's not going to do that. While we have these knives out, let's actually do a size comparison for you. So we'll kind of line these up side by side. So there's the Schliess Bowie with the Tur. The Tur is smaller. You have the ZT 808. Very, very similar in size to the 808. The small Sebenza 21 is going to be a titch smaller in the handle. And then the Hinder half track. Let's scoot them all over here, just to kind of give you a size. So it is very similar in size to a small Sebenza, a little bit longer in the handle. So if the small Sebenza is a little small, but you don't want the full-size large, this would actually not be a bad option, especially for the cost price. It's only $200 versus $400 for those knives, so $300 even for the Schliess Bowie. So uses a good steel, has good materials. So my overall first impressions are actually pretty good. I do like the only knock I'd give on the knife is the blade to handle ratio. As you can see here, the blade is definitely quite a bit smaller than the handle. But let's, I'm not going to reiterate why they did that. Again, it's on purpose. It was, designed that way. So overall, first impressions are pretty solid. I'm going to give it some time and EDC, see how well it does. But again, I think it'll be a really solid EDC knife. Only weighs 3.25 ounces, so it's a really lightweight EDC knife. You could actually, this could fall in the realm of a gentleman's carry folder, carry it in suit pants or slacks. Very much, possibility there. So it has lots of different uses. Fit and finish on it is actually pretty good. I'm pretty impressed. Again, it's my first Fox knife outside of the karambit, and it is solid. I mean, the carbon fiber is really well done. The titanium backspacer is really nice. The clip is really well done with the recess into the handle. Let's see if we can show you that. This inside liner even, way off camera, this inside liner even has some skeletonizing. Yeah, you're not going to be able to see, but the screws actually attach right. You might be able to see the two holes right there. So, like I said, fit and finish is solid. The lockup is probably 40%, maybe 50%, and it has 0 stick, and it's like I said, the action's snappy. It's not the smoothest knife. It is on phosphorus bronze washers. I think it'll smooth. It's one of those ones I think it's got pretty tight tolerances, it feels. So I think it'll smooth up over use, but I don't know that it ever will be a drop free, because that liner is just beefy. Getting that out of the way. Yeah, you could probably loosen the pivot a titch. You could even maybe oil a little bit, but to get, if you really want it to drop free, that's not a huge deal. I think it'll break in over time. But I love the size. I love the aesthetics. It's a really good looking knife. The carbon fiber is beautiful. The price is right. $200 mark. Elmax steel is really good. Should be a good slicer. So I like the blade shape quite a bit. So it should be a good little EDC folder. So there's my first impressions on the Fox Tur. Any questions or comments, leave them down below, and we will see you on the next one.